All right, I'm back. Okay, this is the fourth video in the Spanish sentence forming series. We're still at the basic level. I put here below, as you can see, what we're going to cover today. We're going to cover more AR verbs, just 2 or 3 new ones, direct object pronouns, what it means for a noun to be specific, so this is a technical term, specific nouns or specified nouns, same difference, and the personal A, as it's often called in Spanish. So we're going to learn all this. So there's a lot, by the way. I had to pop some pop rocks, take some ecstasy, and an enema just to get ready for this. Okay. So today, even though this is the fourth video, I really made no changes in the third vocabulary list. Well, in the third video's list, except add hablar. So I'm calling this the third vocabulary list. Maybe I'll call it the fourth just to keep in line with the video series number. And then, yeah. Okay, so the third one, all we did was add hablar. So the fourth one, again, this is an accumulation of the vocabulary, the official vocabulary covered in 1, 2, 3, and 4. And the difference is, for the most part, the vocabulary that I'm listing here is what I'm expecting for you to be able to produce, or what I'm giving you when I do the last part, the English to Spanish. When I do the last part, the English to Spanish, I mainly stick to this vocabulary list. But when I give you Spanish to English, I throw in new vocabulary words that are intuitive, something like interesante, which you will know is interesting, right? Or like fabuloso, which you would know is fabulous, right? So when I give you Spanish to English, I will throw in some words just to add some variety, and because I know for the most part you're gonna know it. Like I'm not throwing you a curveball here. I don't want to do that. Like I'm trying to give you words. I'm trying to make the grammar like, yeah, accessible to you, and I don't want to throw you new vocabulary you know, out of the blue to just like mess with you. Anyway, so that's the point. So but this list, as we'll scroll down and see what we have. Okay, by the way, you can always fast forward to the lesson. I'll timestamp it, or my buddy that always timestamps my videos will do it for me. Okay, so fourth vocabulary list. You'll notice that the people I've not added anybody, but you will see um, the word for girl and boy, which is chico for boy and chica for girl. So I don't know if I officially added it or not, but I'm gonna do it here. So this is like boy or girl. Uh, Sometimes you'll see niño and niña, which is like young boy and young girl. Uh, right, but okay, so I guess this will be officially one we'll add. So I'll put it in blue. The new ones are in blue. Everything else is either in videos 1, 2, and 3 vocabulary. Adjectives, no new adjectives. Oops, that doesn't look good. Let me pull this up just so I have it looking nice and neat. Yeah, so nothing there. Okay, then prepositions, we've added 2 prepositions. Although I don't remember using them in the sentence, so maybe I don't even need, I'll just keep them here. So de, which means of or from, and con, which means with. I think I did not do a good job of incorporating the new vocabulary, at least these prepositions. I think I forgot to do it because the grammar got so heavy that I kind of like, yeah, I didn't do it. But I will definitely use these a lot in the next video, de and con, just so you get more familiar with it. Okay, adverbs. I've added 3. So we still have aquí here. We have hoy or hoy día. If you're like particularly in Peru, we say this a lot for today. Mucho means much or a lot. Muy means very, and también means also or to. También, also or to. Okay, the subject pronouns are the same. Obviously, nothing's changing. You can't add to them. But we have added new pronouns. This is part of the grammar today, and it's a lot. The direct object pronouns. The direct object pronouns are me, which means me, te, which means you, lo, when it refers to him or a masculine it, la means her or a feminine it, le, sorry, le, we're not doing le, take that out. Sorry, take that out. Okay, nos, which means us, los, which means them, masculine, or a mixed group, masculine and women, men and women, and las when it's strictly women, them. Okay, this is important. So let's recite this a little bit to see like if we can, yeah, make it stick. I'm just gonna go down the line on the left. Me, te, lo, la. Me, te, lo, la. You should repeat that with some kind of like musicality, like some rhythm or like some poetic meter to it. Me, te, lo, la. Me, te, lo, la. The te refers, so the me refers to the yo, right? The yo is I and the me is the me, right? So me. It's the same word in English and Spanish, it's just pronounced differently, so that should not be a problem. The te corresponds to the you, informal you, tú. And then but in the object position it would be te. So this is kind of a bit of a mnemonic, so hopefully it helps. Now lo and la are hard to remember, but lo and la, lo and la. Maybe it might help if you think of a boy that's named Pablo and a girl who's named Carla. Pablo and Carla with the endings lo and la. I don't know if it'll help or not. But something make like some mnemonic to help you remember what I think usually kind of works. Okay. Nos is not a big deal because for us it's nosotros, right? We is nosotros. So for us, just chop off the otros. Los is not hard if you remember lo, right? How do you pluralize? Just add an S. Los. Las for them, female, all female is not hard if you remember la. How do you pluralize the la? Well, we just add an S, right? And all the plurals have an S. It's kind of how you would think English words would have if they were plural with an S, right? So this is not too difficult. Okay, so repeat after me. Me, te, lo, la. Me, te, lo, la. Those are the singulars, and the plurals are nos, los. Sorry. Yeah. Nos, los, las. By the way, how do I do this? I didn't throw in the ustedes, which would also be los. What did I do? I just noticed this now. This is now getting, how am I gonna fix this? I think I can fix it like this. No, oops, that's a 0, not an O. And then last, okay. All right. As you know, anyway, maybe as I shouldn't say as you know. Anyway, this is it. I forgot to throw in you guys. So los and you guys is the same as los for them, as you would kind of expect, because when you conjugate the verb for you guys and them, it's the same conjugation of the verb. And here, the direct object pronoun is the same for you guys and for them masculine. For them feminine, it's las, as you would expect, because la. And this actually matches up much better. Now you have this directly across from each other, as it should be. Okay, and then so the te and the los is for the second person singular and plural, and me and nos. All right, that's it. Sorry for a little bit about the. Yeah. Okay. So remember this, and I need to make this. Actually, let me copy this because I think I use this later on down here just as a reminder, and I want to make sure you have it. Okay. Yeah, and I had the same mistake earlier. So paste. Okay, so that's better. All right. Okay, so let's go back. So this is the new grammar, the direct object pronouns. Me, te, lo, la, nos, los, las. All right. Conjunctions, I've added no new conjunctions. Verbs, the only two verbs I've added are amar, which is a regular AR verb, just like hablar, and estudiar, which means to study, um, which is a regular AR verb, like hablar. Okay, so how are we going to remember the amar estudiar conjugation? Well, it's easy, right? It's easy because we already know how to do hablar. And I told you, once you know how to do hablar, all the other regular AR verbs are easy. So let's review a little bit. This is the quick review. Notice here, hablar, I put the infinitive ending in blue. Amar, I put the infinitive ending in blue. Estudiar, I put the infinitive ending in blue. If we chop off the infinitive ending, we're left with, let's call the stem. So HABL. The stem for amar is AM. The stem for estudiar is estudi, right? What I'm reading it like it's a word. Okay. ESTUDI. That's the stem, right? So all we're doing is adding the personal endings to the stem. So let's hablar, you should know. Hablo, hablas, habla, hablamos, hablan, hablan. Hablo, hablas, habla, hablamos, hablan, hablan. Okay, so that's all we're going to do to the amar. Amo, amas, ama, amamos, aman, aman. Amo, amas, ama, amamos, aman, aman. It's the exact same endings. And the same thing with estudiar, even though it has that funny E ending for the stem, but it doesn't change anything. It's regular. So we just add the endings. Estudio, estudias, estudia, estudiamos, estudian, estudian. That's it. So, like I told you, once you learn hablar, regular verb, AR verb, or paradigm AR verb, learning the other regular AR verbs is nothing. And it's going to be nothing when you switch over to the regular ER verbs and the regular IR verbs. Okay, but right now, these are the two verbs that we're learning. All right. So, the new grammar. Some more new grammar here besides the direct object pronouns. We'll see again because you can't memorize that list just by looking at a chart. Okay. The so-called personal A in Spanish and the direct object. They go hand in hand. So there's two things to learn. When the direct object is a specific, and this is a technical term, we'll cover what it means for a noun to be specific, but when it's a specific proper noun, proper nouns are names like Carlos, Maria, of a person, not like of a thing, not like the White House. The White House is a proper noun, but it's not, obviously the White House is not a person, it's a house. Right? So when it's a specific proper noun of a person, so just think of it as someone's name, um, we have this personal A precedes the direct object noun. So it precedes the name Carlos. So we'll see examples. In English, Maria loves Carlos would just be written like that. But in Spanish, María ama a Carlos. Because Carlos is the direct object and it's a proper noun of a person, right? Namely me, in this case, let's say. So, María ama a Carlos. I see Pablo. I see Pablo. Veo a Pablo. I see veo. This don't worry about veo, but just know it means I see. So I see Pablo. Veo a Pablo. That's the personal A. This because Pablo is a proper noun of a person, and it's proper noun. And by the way, proper nouns are always specific, right? It's if Carlos is always specific. So, but we'll see what it means for other kind of nouns to be specific. But just being a proper noun of a person makes it specific, or just being a proper noun makes it a specific noun. All proper nouns are specific. Let's just say that. Okay. Now, second part. When the direct object is a specific common noun, not proper noun. So common nouns like table, chair, book, men, boys. These are common nouns. They're not somebody's actual names, but they name kinds of things. But in this case, right? Okay, but if a person's noun has to be person. So it cannot be tables and chairs. It can be man or men, right? But it cannot be tables or chairs. So a specific, and again, we're going to cover soon what it makes a noun specific. When a direct object is a specific common noun of a person, and that noun is masculine, and that noun is singular, we add al. An al precedes that noun, which al is basically a el, right? A and el together, we make it into al. So we'll see example. It's easier to see. It's easier to understand once you see the example. Maria loves the man. So the man would be el hombre, right? The man is el hombre. So Maria ama, we would really have to say a el hombre, because this is a specific noun. El hombre is a specific, but we join the a and the el because it sounds too, like we just join it because it would be weird to say a él. It's harder to say it than just to say al. So this is what we're doing. So basically, al is a plus el. So here, the man, el hombre, but since we have to stick the a in front of it, we'll join the sound of a el to make al. I see the boy. Veo al chico. The boy would be el chico, and so veo al chico. Okay, so what makes a noun specific? The good news is that what makes a noun specific in Spanish is the same thing that makes a noun specific in English. So the grammar will be easy to understand. As I said, if it's a proper noun, it's specific. So the names of people or pets in Spanish makes the noun specific. Okay. If it has a definite article, like we covered here, the man, that's why this is specific. The boy, because we have a the in front of it. If it was a boy, it would not be specific. If you say, I see a boy, it wouldn't be a specific noun, and so you wouldn't need the personal a in front of it. But because it's the boy, specific, because it's definite article. So the definite article will make a noun specific. The man. Ella ama al hombre, because, right, specific. So we need the a, but since it's a él, so we put it to al. The men, plural. Vimos, this just means we saw. Vimos a los hombres. Los hombres, because the men would be los hombres. And so, since it's specific, we need the personal a. Okay, so a los hombres. Possessives make a noun specific. So my makes it possessive. Your makes it possessive. Él ama a mi hermana. Mi hermana is specific, so we need the personal a. Your brothers. Veo a tus hermanos. Tus hermanos is specific noun for people, so we need the personal a. And then finally, demonstrative adjectives. We already know este, or let's put esta, since these are the only ones we really know. There's more demonstrative adjectives, but these are the ones we're going to worry about because these are the only ones we know in our vocabulary. But let's just put etc. because there's more. Okay. This man, ella ama a este hombre, because this man has a demonstrative adjective, este, and so it's specific. This woman, yo amo a esta mujer. Woman is mujer. Or mujer is woman. Personal noun, personal a, because esta mujer is specific because the esta is a demonstrative adjective. All right, that's it. That's a technical term, what it means for a noun to be specific. This applies in English and in Spanish. Right. And this applies, by the way, to English. For example, I'll make a note of, then I'll delete it. So when we're talking about singular nouns, singular nouns. So in English, I cannot say I love. So in English, I can say I love Maria, even though Maria is singular because it's specific because Maria is specific. But I cannot say I love girl, right? I cannot say I love girl. Why? Because it's a singular noun, and singular nouns either need in English an article, I love a girl, or it has to be specific. I love the girl, or I love your girl, or I love this girl, right? So it follows the same rule that you're going to have to make the noun specific, or you're going to have some article in front of it for singular count nouns. Anyway, so this is the grammar that applies to English as well as to Spanish. Slightly different uses, but it's the same idea. All right. Now let's warm up because we have a lot of grammar. I'm good for this series for these first sentences. I'm giving you the English and the Spanish as I usually do, and I'm pointing out grammar as we go along. And then I'm going to give you Spanish that you have to understand and we'll put into English. And then, of course, the whole point of this video is to give you the English and then see if you can produce the Spanish in somewhat moderately decent speed, but it's a lot of grammar. So don't don't kick yourself if you're not doing this very fast. And now I will try to slow down for you. Okay, so let's warm up here. I love the girls. The girls is specified noun, so yo amo a las chicas. I'm pointing out the personal A here in the blue on the right, as you can see. I love the girls. Yo amo a las chicas. You love the boy. Tú amas al chico. Tú amas al chico. Number 3, he loves the woman. The woman is specified because it has the article. Él ama a la mujer. Mujer is woman. She loves the man. Ella ama al hombre. The man is specific noun. We love Carlos. Nosotros amamos a Carlos. Proper name of a person, so it's specific. Nosotros amamos a Carlos. You guys love the girl. Ustedes aman a la chica. Ustedes aman a la chica. Maria loves Carlos. María ama a Carlos. María ama a Carlos. We love Maria and Juanita. Nosotros amamos a María y a Juanita. Nosotros amamos a María y a Juanita. We love your sisters. Nosotros amamos a tus hermanas. Specified because your makes is a possessive adjective, obviously. And then so yeah. Okay. So this is what we're getting at as far as the a. So this is a warm up for the a. Now, I want to remind you this is the tough part. Direct object pronouns: me, te, lo, la, nos, los, and las. We're going to see them again, and I'm going to point them out to you because, again, this is a lot of grammar. You can't just be expected to remember this list. So we're going to look at it, and again, I'm going to point out the grammar. So using direct object pronouns. I want you to see the difference now. Notice the English word order: subject, verb, direct object pronoun. There's no difference in English whether you use the pronoun or an actual noun like Maria. I love Maria. I love her. Same word order. Subject, verb, object. Is this a period or is this a speck on my screen? No, it's a period. Okay. But in Spanish, the word order changes with the direct object pronoun. Yo la amo. The direct object pronoun goes before the verb. Before the verb. It's subject, direct object, verb. This is a subject, object, verb, word order. You would think you're speaking you would think you're speaking like Japanese with the verb at the end. Okay, so yo la amo. So that's the big jump. You have to take the direct object pronoun and put it in between the subject and the verb. Okay, so remember, so direct object pronouns go, and later you'll see indirect object pronouns go before the verb in Spanish. Just the nouns, no, regular order like English, or order like English. Okay, you love them. Tú los amas. Them being masculine here because it's los here. He doesn't love you. Él no te ama. Notice something here. Notice the no is not connected to the verb. The direct object pronoun is between the no and the verb, right? You wouldn't see that in English. You wouldn't see doesn't and then throw in some kind of object and then the verb, right? Usually it sticks together. Unless you're asking something. Yeah, it sticks together. Okay, so here, notice where the no goes. So that's why I said earlier video, when you make a verb negative, it goes somewhere between the subject and the verb, not necessarily immediately before the verb. Here, it's before the verb, but it's not immediately before the verb. Immediately before the verb is te, the direct object. Okay, so he doesn't love you. Él no te ama. We love you guys. Nosotros los amamos. We love you guys. Nosotros los amamos. You guys love her. Ustedes la aman. Obviously, her and la correspond. That's why I put them in the same color. Ustedes la aman. They love me. Ellos me aman. Ellos me aman. Maria loves us. María nos ama. María nos ama. Maria is third person singular, so ama is for third person singular. Él ama, ella ama, mi mamá ama, María ama. Okay, Maria doesn't love him. Again, notice the no goes before the direct object pronoun. Okay, María no lo ama. María no lo ama. We love you. Nosotros te amamos. Nosotros te amamos. We don't love them. Nosotros no las amamos. Nosotros no las amamos. Again, let me highlight the no where it's going. It's kind of different here. Question now. Now, questions get interesting, and so notice what's happening here. Does she love me? Does she love me? ¿Me ama ella? ¿Me llama ella? Direct object, me. Verb, ama. And the subject is after the ama. And it usually only happens with the third person that we throw in the ella to be specific. So you will see ella, you will see él, you will see ellos, you will see maybe ellas, and you will see people's names like Carlos or Maria, but you won't normally see you, and you won't normally see I, because it's contained in the verb and it's unambiguous, or yeah, it's unambiguous, so we don't need to like specify who exactly is doing this loving. So, does she love me? ¿Me llama ella? Does she love me? ¿Me llama ella? So this is the word order, object, verb, subject. It's the reverse. It's the complete reverse of the normal statement in English, right? In English, it would be subject, verb, object, statement. But when you make the question in Spanish, it's going to be the reverse. Do you love him? ¿Lo amas? Right? So again, we wouldn't say lo amas tú, which with an accent mark, but I'm not going to put it because it doesn't. So it's understood that it's you because it's the amas, right? Okay. So it's only really, and again, it's going to be in context. Context will determine whether you need these or not, but for the most part, only the third person singular and sometimes the third person plural, we will specify who the subject is by stating it. But in the you or the first person or the second person, we won't. So, do you love him? ¿Lo amas? ¿Lo amas? Do you love us? ¿Nos amas? ¿Nos amas? Do you not love us? Okay, now, do you not love us? Again, the no is going before the direct object. So, no nos amas? No nos amas? Do you not love us? Or don't you love us? No nos amas? Do they love us? Nos aman ellas? Where they is feminine, like the girls or the women. Nos aman ellas? You could say nos aman in context if it's understood that you're talking about the girls or the women, but yeah, most likely. Here we have no context, so I threw it in. Does Carlos not love her? No la ama Carlos? No la ama Carlos? No la ama Carlos? I don't, actually. I don't love them hoes. Do I? I do love them hoes, actually. Do I love her? Do I love her? This is a weird question, but maybe you can ask yourself if you're like, wait a second, why am I always thinking about this girl? Like, do I love her? La amo? La amo? And again, you wouldn't say yo because yeah, it's clear. Amo is obviously yo, right? La amo? Okay, that's a lot of grammar, right? It's a lot of grammar again. Um, so we've learned the personal a when it's specified noun. We're learning where we have to put the direct object pronoun and what they are, which is not easy to remember. Again, okay. So now we're going to do some practice. All of this practice is not meant for you to, like, I don't expect for you to just, yeah, pull this from out of the, yeah, oops. Sorry, my alarm. Okay, here we go. Let's go. We're going to go slowly here. You might want to review this later. That's good enough. Yo te amo. This is the Spanish to English. This is the easier version, but there is a lot of new grammar. Yo te amo. Yo te amo. I love you. I love you. Maria. Oops, I put not. Maria no te ama. Maria no te. I should say Maria like Spanish people. Maria no te ama. Maria no te ama. Maria doesn't love you, sadly. Tú amas. Tú la amas a Maria. Tú la amas a Maria. This is kind of unique to Spanish. Or maybe it's not so unique to Spanish, but it's different than English. I want to highlight something for you. A Maria. If I had just said, um, Actually, let me in fact say it. Let me in fact say it. I'm gonna say this. Copy, paste. I could just say this. Tú la amas. What would tú la amas be? You love her. You love her. But if I want to specify who I'm talking about, maybe like there's two girls and I want to specify which girl I'm talking about. Maria and Juanita are over there. Or we've been talking about Maria and Juanita, and I need to specify, then I will add the a Maria to specify who is the her. And yes, I will still say la. I will still like in English we wouldn't use both. In English we would like, well, if I'm gonna say Maria, I don't have to say her, right? But in Spanish, we actually say her and then use the Maria to specify who we mean by her. So we keep it. So you love Maria. And you can say tú amas a María. We can also say tú la amas a María, right? So I can say tú amas a María. This is you love Maria also. Okay. I need this to be. I'll just switch over to the keyboard and put this. So annoying. Okay, I can do this. Tú amas a María. Tú amas a María. You love Maria. Tú la amas a María. Slightly different connotation, but it's basically the same message. So, but I can keep the la here. I can use both. And you'll see this later. This is very common with indirect object pronouns. We will use an indirect object pronoun and we'll still specify with a noun what we mean or who we are referring to with the indirect object pronoun. Okay, but let me not get ahead of myself here. Okay, so tú amas a María, you love Maria. Yo la amo a Miyako. I love Miyako. Facts. Ella me ama mucho. Ella me ama mucho. She loves me a lot. Él no la ama mucho. Él no la ama mucho. Él no. He doesn't. Back to English keyboard. He doesn't love her. He doesn't love her. Oops. He doesn't love her. We wouldn't say a lot. We would say much in English. Uh, Same meaning, but we don't. With the negative, he doesn't love her a lot. It's almost like baby, not baby talk, but it's really not very sophisticated way of expressing it. He doesn't love her much is more common translation. Pedro nos ama. Pedro nos ama. Nos, you should think of nosotros, so it's us. Pedro loves us. Ustedes no nos aman. Ustedes no nos aman. You guys do not love us. I think this will fit. Mi mamá y mi papá nos aman mucho. My mom and dad, in English, we wouldn't repeat the my so much. My mom and dad love us a lot. My mom and dad love us a lot. Yo amo a mi mamá. Yo amo a mi mamá. I love my mom. Ellos aman. Why is this so far to the right? Let's go back. Boop, 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 boop. Okay. Ellos aman a tu hermana. They love your sister. This one definitely below. Francisco no te ama, pero Carlos te ama mucho. Francisco no te ama. Francisco no te ama. Francisco doesn't, the heck is the end? Doesn't love you, pero Carlos te ama mucho. But Carlos loves you a lot. What can I say? I'm a lover, not a fighter. ¿Te ama Carlos? Question. ¿Te ama Carlos? It depends on what you're emphasizing as to what exactly you're asking, but okay. ¿Te ama Carlos? Does Carlos love you? I doubt it. Okay. No me ama Anita. No me ama Anita. Anita doesn't love me. This one definitely go below. Las chicas no me aman, pero yo amo mucho a las chicas. I said that in my creepiest voice. Not the creepiest. I can get creepier. Las chicas no me aman, pero yo amo mucho a las chicas. The girls don't love me, but I love the girls a lot. Oops. OS. The girls don't love me, but I love the girls a lot. You can also say girls don't love me here, but okay, that's fine translation. It's fine because I said so. Okay. Mis hermanos aman a Susana. Mis hermanos aman a Susana. I'm not sure that's how you would spell Susana, but let's go with it. Mis hermanos aman a Susana. My brothers love Susana. And who doesn't? Tus hermanos, sorry, question. Tus hermanos aman a Susana. You can rephrase, you can switch the word order here in Spanish to ask this a different way, but this is also a legitimate way of asking. ¿Tus hermanos aman a Susana? Do your brothers love Susana? ¿Tus hermanos aman a Susana? Yeah, okay. Carlos no la ama, pero ella ama mucho a Carlos. As it should be, as it should be. Carlos no la ama, pero ella ama mucho a Carlos. Carlos doesn't love her, but she loves Carlos a lot. Or you can say very much, but okay, that's fine too. Let's put this below. Las chicas aman a Miguel y él también. Oops. I put les. Las ama. Las chicas aman a Miguel y él también las ama. The girls love Miguel and he too loves them. Or he also, and yeah, he too is a better translation than he also. And he too, también is, remember, también is too or also, right? And he too loves them. And he loves them too. It doesn't matter, same thing. Okay. And finally, oh good, I can get this to the next one. What? No. I don't know what I meant to do here. Let's end it. I think that's it. Okay, so that's it. I think I actually wanted to finish that sentence, but I forgot what I was saying. All right, that's Spanish to English. That's kind of tough, right? That's tough. Now for the English to Spanish, I kind of simplified it because, yeah, I think you're gonna already be overwhelmed, and to produce this, yeah, just from after this one lesson is a lot to ask. So I'm gonna give you time here, and let's see. Okay, so I love her. Think about it. As I take a sip of my soda. I love her. I love her. Direct object pronoun. Word order changes for Spanish as compared to English. I, yo, subject. Now I need the direct object pronoun. What's the direct object pronoun for her? Singular, la. And what's the conjugation for love for yo? Yo, and ends with o also. Yo la amo. Yo la amo. You love him. Tu should be a no-brainer. And, and then tu, and then you should already know how to conjugate tu. By the way, tu should have an accent mark. Where's my Spanish keyboard? Tu. What? What happened? I thought I. Tu. There it is. Tu. Him. Lo. And then amas. She loves me. Ella. That should be given. Also, the verb should be a given. Just what would be she loves. And then you just stick the pronoun in the middle. And what is me? It's the easiest one to remember. It's also me, but it's pronounced in the Spanish way, me. Ella me and ella ama. Ella me ama. He doesn't love you. He doesn't love you. He, we start with he, él. Now we have a negative verb. Remember, the no of the negative verb precedes the direct object pronoun. So it'll be the no, the direct object pronoun, and then the verb. Él no, you is te, and then él ama. Él no te ama. Él no te ama. Okay. We love Maria. We love Maria. Nosotros love Maria. There's no pronoun here. It's just Maria, which is a regular proper noun. Nosotros amamos, but it is a specified noun because it's a proper noun, a Maria. Nosotros amamos a Maria. We love her. We love her. Nosotros, her is the direct object pronoun, so la amamos. Nosotros, no. La amamos. Le amamos is. Wait, am I wrong? Did I lose my? I think did I lose my? No, I didn't lose my. What am I doing? Oh, why is it giving me le? Why does it want to give me the? Why does it want to give me the proper you? Le is nosotros le amamos is we love you for the usted, which we haven't learned. We'll learn it later. It's not necessary to learn it now. This is hard enough. Okay, nosotros la amamos. Okay, meaning her, not meaning you. I think that's what it's trying to correct me. It's trying. I think Microsoft thinks I'm trying to say we love you, but it's giving me the le for the usted, but we don't want to say that. Okay, you guys don't love us. You guys don't love us. Ustedes. We have a negative, so we need the no. Us, easy, because nosotros is we, so us is nos. And then ustedes, what's the conjugation for amar for ustedes? Aman. Ustedes no nos aman. They love us a lot. They love us a lot. Ellos. Let's just take ellos as the masculine. I mean, as they as the masculine. Ellos love us a lot. Us. Because it's direct object pronoun, nos. They love, aman. And then a lot is mucho. Ellos nos aman mucho. They, let's take feminine they this time, don't love you. They don't love you. So ellas don't. So we're gonna need the no. You, direct object pronoun, te. And then ellas, what's the verb for amar for ellas? Aman again. Ellas no te aman. Ellas no te aman. Does Maria love you? Does Maria love you? Okay. Does Maria? This is a little tricky now. The question now. Does Maria love you? The word order is direct object, verb, and then subject in the question. The word order is direct object, verb, and then the subject. So let me go to my Spanish keyboard. So the direct object is you, te. The verb for Maria, Maria ama. And then Maria is the subject. And then the question. ¿Te ama María? ¿Te ama María? ¿Te ama María? Okay, let's do it again. Oops. Do you love her? Now, again, direct object first, verb second, and subject last. But because this is not third person, this is you, second person, we won't include the actual pronoun. We're just going to have direct object and then the verb. Maria is the third person, so we're throwing it in. But if it's not third person, we usually don't put it in. So, her, la, you love. What is the verb for amar for you love? Amas. La amas? Do you love her? La amas? This one, I think we need to put below. Let's bring this down so it's together. Bloop, bloop. Okay. Maria loves you, but Miyako doesn't. Maria loves you, but Miyako doesn't. This is a kind of using this. This is going to use some of what we learned in the previous, how this ending, how we phrased it last time. Okay. Maria loves you, but Miyako doesn't. Maria loves you. Maria te ama. Have you forgotten? Maria te ama. But, pero. Okay, how will we say here, Miyako doesn't? If you've done, if you've done the videos up till now, you will have seen these kinds of constructions where we say, but he doesn't, but she does, right? Maria te ama, pero Miyako no. And what we're saying is no, no te ama. We don't need to say it. Maria te ama, pero Miyako no. Maria te ama, pero Miyako no. Okay. Next one, we'll do another one below it because it's too long. Carlos doesn't love you, but Pedro loves you a lot. Carlos doesn't love you, but Pedro loves you a lot. So we start with the easy side. Carlos doesn't love you. Carlos, negative, so we need to know first. No. The you, direct object you, te ama. Carlos no te ama. Carlos no te ama. But, pero. But because now, okay, actually, let me just explain it. Pedro, pero Pedro, because we're saying a lot, and a lot modifies the verb loves, we're not going to leave out the loves. So in the previous sentence, we left out te ama. We left out the ama. right? Because the no captures the idea that of its that te ama. But we cannot just say a lot and just leave it out there with no, right? No, it's not modifying anything if we leave out, right? So it's more common to throw it in. Carlos no te ama, pero Pedro te ama mucho. So here we wouldn't, yeah, it wouldn't be elliptical. We would put it in. Carlos no te ama, pero Pedro te ama mucho. Okay. Does she love me? I wonder. Does she love me? Does she even love me? Does she love me? Again, it's going to be object, verb, and then subject. Now, let me say something here. I'm going to give you two versions of this. Let's go with the version that we've been doing. She is third person. She is third person singular, and we said normally, or for most of the time, probably in the third person will be included. Will include the pronoun. So direct object first, me. The subject is ella, so ella ama, and then we'll throw it in. Okay. This is perfectly good Spanish. Me llama ella. But in this case, you're asking yourself. You're not asking this of somebody else, right? So if you asked me, for example, does she love me? Right? You would say me llama ella. In a lot of contexts, you would throw in the ella. In some contexts, you wouldn't, if it would be clear. But since you're asking yourself, you know who you're talking about, right? You don't need to. You're not gonna throw in ella to specify who you're talking about because you already know who you are talking about. So in this case, if you're just talking to yourself, if you're talking to yourself, you would say me ama, right? If you were thinking to yourself, you would just think this me ama. Because it would be clear, the context would be clear, right? And again, this could also be clear if you guys are already talking about Maria, let's say, and oh, Maria yesterday waved hi to me and she smiled. She gave me a big smile. And then the other day she offered to help me with my homework. And then the other day she complimented me on my arms. Like and she invited me to her party. Like, wait, does this girl love me? Me llama? Me llama? Me llama? Right, okay, so anyway. So context, again, the ella is not necessary because it's third person, but it's like a lot of cases it will be thrown in, but it could be taken out also. Okay, let's put this on the bottom. She doesn't love me. She doesn't love me, but I love her a lot. She doesn't love me. Ella doesn't love, so we know we need a no. No. Me. Me. She loves. Ama. Ella no me ama. Pero I love her a lot. I love her a lot. I love her a lot. Yo, her, la amo mucho. I love Miyako a lot. Yo amo Miyako, proper noun, so specified a Miyako a lot. Mucho. She doesn't study much. We finally got our study verb in here, and we only have these four left. She doesn't study much. Ella doesn't study, so we need, well, we don't have a direct object pronoun, so no estudia. Did you remember estudia? Did you remember the conjugation? And then mucho. Put this below. She studies Spanish with Carlos at my house. She studies Spanish. This is just to make sure you don't forget the other grammar we've been learning. And the next lesson will be a review, a cumulative review. It won't be any new grammar. It'll just be rehashing all of the grammar, incorporating stuff through 1 through 4. This lesson is mostly focused on the new grammar, but the next lesson will be a cumulative review. She studies Spanish with Carlos at my house. Ella estudia español with Carlos. Con Carlos. Did you remember with? Con Carlos. Thank you, Microsoft. At my house. En mi casa. Ella estudia español con Carlos en mi casa. Ella estudia español con Carlos en mi casa. Last two. Pablo, Petey Pablo. Pablo loves Maria, but he also loves Juanita because Pablo is a dude. Pablo loves Maria, but he also loves Juanita. Pablo ama, specified noun, a Maria. Pero he also, remember also, también. Also is también. También ama a Juanita. You don't need to say Pablo again. También has an accent mark. Thank you. I think I didn't put the accent mark in the vocabulary list, but just remember, también has an accent mark. Okay. And then finally, do you love me? Do you love me? Oops, question mark. Direct object, me. You love, amas. Oops. And since it's second person, we don't need to specify me amas. Me amas. By the way, you can specify this more by adding like do, but you don't need to. In vast majority of cases, you wouldn't. So, me amas? Like, what? Did you just say you love me? Me amas? Okay, that's it. That's a lot, right? Okay, I won't prattle on like I normally do. Just know that upcoming is a cumulative review, so it's going to be a monster Spanish to English and English to Spanish video. No new grammar, right? No new grammar, no new vocab, nothing. But we have a lot. Like there should be a ton. I'm prattling. There should be a ton of sentences that you can understand. Your passive vocabulary, I expect to be like really good, but we'll have to work on producing these sentences. I don't know if I gave you enough time. I didn't really expect for you guys to be able to produce these sentences, but if you were able to, then like yeah, hats off. That's pretty amazing to like be able to generate this stuff off the top of your head, especially if you're seeing this like roughly for the first time, like some of this stuff. All right, that's it. I hope this is useful. If not, then so be it. Okay, later. I gotta go. And I'm off.